So today we are going to discuss about spread spectrum modulation. So the spread spectrum modulation provide protection against jamming signal. So this spread spectrum protection or spread spectrum modulation, it provides protection against jamming signal by making information bearing signal occupy a bandwidth far in excess of minimum bandwidth required. So we are actually spreading the bandwidth. So by spreading the bandwidth, it provides protection against jamming signal. So the spread spectrum modulation provides protection against jamming signal by making information bearing signal occupy a bandwidth far in excess of minimum bandwidth required. So original information bearing signal is now occupied in a bandwidth which is far in excess of minimum bandwidth required. One method of widening the bandwidth of the message is by multiplication with a PN, that is pseudo noise sequence. So there are several methods of getting widening, and one method of widening the bandwidth of the message is by multiplication with the PN sequence. So let PK be the binary data sequence. BK be the binary data sequence, which is our binary data, original data. Then CK be our PN sequence, and B of that is this BK and CK represent the sequence, and B of T be the data signal, that is our original data signal, and C of T be the PN signal. So we are supposing that BK be the binary data sequence and CK be the PN sequence, and B of T is the corresponding data signal and C of T is the corresponding PN signal. The modulation can be achieved using product modulator as given below. So modulation is achieved by using the product modulator as shown in figure below. So here B of T is the data signal. This is going to be a product modulator which is supplied by another PN signal. So output of the product modulator, we get our M of T. That is our spreaded signal. This is a wideband signal. So this B of T in another, it's a narrowband signal. So this narrowband signal is now multiplied by a PN signal by a product modulator, and the output of the product modulator, we get our spreaded signal M of T, and this shows the transmitter side operation. Now this spreaded signal is passed through a channel. So this M of T is passed through a channel to reach the destination or the receiver. So this M of T, while passing through the channel, get added up with some interference, that is represented by I of T. That is, this M of T, which is a spreaded signal, when passing through the channel, get added up with some interference, and this is represented by I of T. And after adding on with the interference, this M of T now changes to R of T. That is, this is our channel. From the channel, the M of T get added up with some interference, and now this M of T become M of T plus I of T, and it is nothing but R of T. Now going on to the receiver side, that is the destination side. Here we have R of T, which is nothing but M of T plus some interference, that is I of T. And here we have another product modulator with the C of T, that is same carrier which we used to modulate here in the transmitter, that is C of T is nothing but PN signal. So the same PN signal is used at the receiver. So for coherent detection, for coherent synchronous detection, the same C of T which we used in the transmitter is used in the receiver. So this R of T is given to a product modulator which is supplied by a carrier or PN signal, and the output of the product modulator is Z of T. The output of the product modulator is Z of T. This Z of T is given to an integrator. So this becomes a correlator. The product modulator followed by an integrator. This becomes a correlator. So this Z of T is given to an integrator which integrate over the interval 0 to TB, and the output of this correlator is V, and it is given to the decision device. And this decision device is set with a threshold equal to 0. And if V is greater than 0, receiver decides in favor of 1. If V, that is this V which comes out of the correlator, if V is greater than this set threshold that is equal to 0, then if V is greater than 0, then the receiver makes in decision favor of 1. And if V is less than 0, then the receiver makes decision in favor of 0. So basically, the spectrum modulation provides protection against jamming signal. It provides protection against jamming signal by making information bearing signal occupy a bandwidth which is far in excess of the minimum bandwidth required. And one method of widening the bandwidth of message is by multiplication with the PN signal. So we are assuming that let BK be the binary data sequence and CK be the data signal corresponding to the binary data sequence, and C of T be the PN signal corresponding to the PN sequence. Now the modulation is now achieved by using a product modulator as shown in figure below. That is, this V of T is given to a product modulator which is also supplied by a C of T, which is a PN signal, and output of the product modulator we get our M of T. This shows the transmitter side. Now this M of T passes through the goes through the channel, and while passing through the channel, it gets added up with some interference that is represented by I of T, and the channel output will be R of T, which is nothing but this M of T plus this interference I of T, and this is now given to a receiver, and we have a coherent detection. We have a coherent detection at the receiver side. That is, we have R of T given to a product modulator which is supplied by C of T, which is the same C of T which was used in the transmitter side for coherent detection. So this product modulator output is Z of T, which is given to an integrator. So this product modulator followed by integrator forms a correlator, and the correlator output is V, and based on this V and the threshold we make our decision. So this V is given to a decision device which have a threshold which is equal to 0, and if V is greater than 0, receiver makes in decision of 1, and if V is less than 0, the receiver makes in decision of favor of 0. Now our transmitted signal. Here we can see transmitted signal M of T. This transmitted signal M of T is nothing but this B of T into C of T. As it is given to a product modulator, multiplication with the PN signal happens. That is, M of T is nothing but C of T, that is a PN signal, into B of T. That is our data signal. So data signal get multiplied with this PN signal. So if B of T is a narrow band and PN signal C of T is wide band, if that is, our data signal is narrow band signal. Our original message signal is a narrow band signal. It's a band limited signal. So this B of T is a narrow band signal, and PN signal C of T is a wide band signal. That is, PN signal C of T is a wide band signal. Then the product signal M of T will have a spectrum same as wide band PN signal. So the product M of T will have wide band spectrum, or wide band have a spectrum as same of that of wide band PN signal. So this M of T, which is a product of the C of T and B of T, will have the same spectrum as that of the wide band PN signal. So if B of T is a narrow band signal and PN signal C of T is a wide band signal, then the product of this M of T, the product signal M of T will have a spectrum as same as that of wide band PN signal. Now the received signal R of T consists of transmitted signal plus additive interference, that is I of T. As we have already seen, the received signal here, the received signal is R of T. So the received signal now have M of T plus some interference also. The transmitted signals was M of T, which was transmitted through a channel which have some interference I of T. So this transmitted signal get added up, or this interference get added up with the transmitted signal. So the received signal is now R of T equal to M of T plus I of T. Now we are substituting for this M of T. We know M of T is nothing but C of T plus C of T into B of T plus this I of T. So from the above equation we have M of T equal to C of T into B of T. So now we are substituting in place of M of T, that is C of T into B of T plus I of T. Now to recover the original signal B of T. Here this is our received signal. From this we have to recover the original signal B of T. That is, we have to recover the original signal B of T. from this received signal R of t. Now to recover the original signal B of t, the received signal is applied to a demodulator consisting of a multiplier followed by an integrator and a decision device. So as we have seen in the figure, the received signal is given to a demodulator and followed by an integrator. This product modulator is nothing but a demodulator. So this is given to a demodulator followed by an integrator. The received signal to recover the original B of t, to get the original data signal B of t. Now the received signal is applied to a demodulator. So this demodulator consists of a multiplier followed by an integrator and a decision device. So the whole demodulator, the received signal is applied to the whole demodulator, and this demodulator consists of a multiplier followed by an integrator and a decision device. Now multiplier output is Z of t. We have seen in the figure the multiplier output is Z of t. So Z of t is nothing but R of t into this C of t. That is, the multiplier output is Z of t, which is C of t into R of t. So we have the equation for R of t. We have derived the equation for R of t. R of t is nothing but C of t into B of t plus I of t. So we are substituting in place of R of t, that is C of t into B of t plus I of t. Now we are multiplying the C of t into the inside the bracket. So it will be C square of t into B of t plus C of t into I of t. That is, we are multiplying the C of t inside this bracket. So C of t have level +1 and -1. So C of t can have level either +1 or -1, and hence C square t the value is equal to 1 for all values of t. For all t, C square t the value is equal to 1. So we are substituting the C square value, C square t value is equal to 1. So Z of t, our new Z of t is equal to B of t plus C of t into I of t. This is our Z of t, that is B of t plus C of t into I of t. So if this B of t is a narrowband and PN signal C of t is a wideband, then the product M of t will have a spectrum as same as that of PN signal. So by applying the multiplier, so this is our multiplier, this is our output Z of t. Z of t is equal to B of t plus C of t into I of t. This is our Z of t. Now this Z of t is applied to a low pass filter. That is, the multiplier output, that is a correlator output Z of t is now applied to a low pass filter. And the data signal B of t can be recovered by passing through the low pass filter, because the component B of t is a narrow band and this is narrow band, whereas C of t into I of t is a wide band. So low pass filter pass in the narrow band signal pass that is Z of t equal to B of t plus C of t into I of t. So this C of t is a wide band signal. B of t is a narrow band signal. So നമ്മൾ ലോ പാസ് ഫിൽറ്ററിലൂടെ പാസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഈ നാരോ ബാൻഡ് സിഗ്നലിൽ മാത്രമേ പാസ് ചെയ്യത്തുള്ളൂ. ഈ സി ഓഫ് ടി എന്ന് പറയുന്ന വൈഡ് ബാൻഡ് സിഗ്നൽ റിജക്ട് ചെയ്യും, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ലോ പാസ് ഫിൽറ്ററിലൂടെ പാസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റത്തില്ല. സോ Z of t is equal to B of t plus C of t into I of t, and by applying this multiplier output to a low pass filter, the data signal B of t can be recovered because the component B of t is a narrow band and is narrow band signal, whereas C of t into I of t is a wide band. Thus, the effect of interference is reduced at the receiver output. So, the effect of here, the interference get added up with this wide band signal C of t. This interference get added up with the wide band signal C of t. So, the effect of interference is reduced at the receiver output. So, we can say that the effect of interference is reduced at the receiver output. This can be understood with the figure. Here, this is our narrow band data signal. Here, this first figure shows the narrow band data signal. This narrow band data signal is multiplied with the PN signal. That is, we are multiplying this narrow band signal with the PN signal. So by the multiplication with the PN signal, this narrow band signal get converted into wideband signal. This is our M of t. That is, this is our M of t, wide and spreaded data signal. So this was our original narrowband data signal, and by multiplication with this PN signal, it have become a spreaded data signal. This is our M of t, a spreaded data signal. Now, by passing through the channel, the spreaded data signal get added up with some interference. This black color shows the interference. That is our I of t. This black color shows the interference. That is our I of t. So while passing through this channel, this spreaded signal, that is our M of t, get added up with some I of t or interference. This is our spreaded signal. This spreaded signal, this red color shows our spreaded signal, and this black color shows our interference. So at the receiver side, despreading is done by multiplication with PN. So at the receiver side, we are multiplying with the PN. We can see at the first side, we are multiplying with the C of t. That is, at the receiver side, we are multiplying with the C of t. That is, despreading is happening at the receiver side. On despreading, we can see that now this becomes our interference and this becomes our original data signal. This red color shows our original data signal and this black shows the interference. Now this, that is, despreading has happened at the receiver. The C of t and this B of t narrow band signal ആണ്. This interference this spreaded signal interference ആണ്. That is C of t into I of t ആണ് this black color. This black color shows the C of t into I of t, and this red color shows the B of t. That is, this is our Z of t. This figure shows our Z of t. That is after despreading. That is, despreading is done by multiplying with the PN signal. That is, this figure shows this equation. That is, Z of t equal to B of t plus C of t into I of t. And this red color is the B of t, and this black color is nothing but our wideband interference. Now it's become wideband because C of t into I of t ആണ്, and this is our interference. At the receiver, despreading done by multiplying with the PN signal. So now this is passed through a low pass filter. That is, this is our Z of t, and this Z of t is passed through a low pass filter. And output of the receiver, the effect of interference is reduced. So we can see that by passing through the low pass filter, only this portion, that is, this portion get passed through the low pass filter, and the rest of the interference doesn't pass through the low pass filter. Only this portion and this interference which belongs to this portion pass through the low pass filter. So we can see that at the output we get our B of t, which we have passed originally, that narrowband signal we can get at the receiver output, but it has some interference also, but the effect of interference is reduced at the receiver. So we can see that the output of the receiver, effect of interference is reduced at the receiver output, and we get our original narrowband data signal at the receiver output, but with some interference. But this effect is reduced compared to the original channel effect of I of t. Now we will study the direct sequence spread spectrum. We have already discussed in first class that there are two types of spread spectrum, that is frequency hopping spread spectrum and direct sequence spread spectrum. So now we are going to study the direct sequence spread spectrum with coherent VPSK. Coherent VPSK in the sense that we are using the carrier, we are using synchronous carrier at the receiver. We are using the carrier which was used in the transmitter side modulation. The same carrier is used in the receiver side also. That is, carrier in the receiver is phase locked with the carrier at the transmitter. So we are doing a coherent type of detection, and now we are going to discuss the direct sequence spread spectrum, that is DSSS, with coherent BPSK. So coherent binary phase shift key. So now we will discuss about the transmitter side. So the transmitter side consists of binary data sequence or binary sequence BK, and this binary sequence BK is given to a polar non-return to zero level encoder. So this binary sequence BK is given to a polar non-return to level encoder, and this polar level non-return to zero level encoder output is B of t. And this B of t is again multiplied with this PN signal C of t. This B of t is our data signal and C of t is our PN signal. So this B of t is multiplied with C of t. That is our PN signal. Now this PN signal is generated by this PN code generator. That PN code generator generates this PN signal. And the output we get the M of t. That is our M of t is our transmitted signal. And it is passed through some channel. And we have a BPSK modulator which is supplied by a carrier. And finally we have our X of t. So first, the incoming binary data sequence is converted to a polar non-return to zero signal and is multiplied with the PN signal C of t. And the second stage is a BPSK modulation process where the phase of the signal is varied among two possible values 0 and pi as follows. If that is, here we have a BPSK, also here phase shift is happening. So second stage is a BPSK modulator process where the phase of the signal is varied among two possible values of 0 and pi as follows. So the phase of this M of t is our is the signal, and this M of t is given to a BPSK modulator which is supplied by a carrier. Then the phase of this carrier and the phase of the signal is varied among two possible values, that is 0 and pi as follows. If that is, here if we have B of t and C of t, and here we have two values for B of t, since B of t is given through a polar non-return to level encoder, this BK signal is either converted into +1 or -1. So B of t can take two values, that is either +1 or -1. And C of t we already know it can take two values, +1 and -1. So if B of t and C of t both are +1, then the phase change is 0. And if B of t is +1 and C of t is -1, then phase change is pi. And B of t is -1 and C of t is +1, then phase is pi. And if B of t is -1 and C of t is -1, then phase change is 0. So depending upon, so second stage is a BPSK modulation process where the phase of the signal is varied among two possible values and 0 and pi depending upon the following values of B of t and C of t. So the transmitted signal is X of t is a direct sequence spread spectrum BPSK signal. So the transmitted signal is now X of t, which is a direct sequence spread spectrum BPSK signal, which is direct. It is a direct sequence spread spectrum in the sense that spreaded signal, but it is also a BPSK signal also. Here we have a phase change, phase shift keying also happening in this spreaded signal. So this transmitted signal X of t is a direct sequence spread BPSK signal, that is DS BPSK signal. Now we will check the receiver side. So in the receiver side, the received signal is Y of t, and it have two stages. The receiver consists of two stages. First stage is a coherent detection. Or first stage we can see that here the received signal is multiplied by a local carrier, and it is passed to a low pass filter, and it is given to first stage. It is demodulation is happening. First stage demodulation is happening. Second stage we have a correlator followed by decision device. So the first stage of demodulation removes the phase shift key applied to the transmitted signal. So we have BPSK phase shift, binary phase shift keying was applied at the modulator at the second stage of the transmitter. So in the receiver, first we will remove the phase shift key. So in order to remove the phase shift key, the received signal is now given to a product modulator, which is supplied by a local carrier, which was same carrier as that was used in the transmitter side, BPSK modulator carrier which is supplied, and that same carrier is used in the receiver side also. So for coherent detection, we have a local carrier which is given to a product modulator, and the first stage of demodulation remove the phase shift key applied to the transmitted signal. So this remove the phase shift key which was applied to the transmitted signal, and it is now given to a low pass filter. The second stage perform despreading. So ഫസ്റ്റ് സ്റ്റേജ് ട്രാൻസ്മിറ്റഡ് സൈഡ് നോക്കുവാണെങ്കിൽ ഫസ്റ്റ് സ്റ്റേജിൽ സ്പ്രെഡിങ് നടന്നു, സെക്കൻഡ് സ്റ്റേജിൽ ഫേസ് ഷിഫ്റ്റ് ഹീലിംഗ് നടന്നു. റിസീവർ സൈഡ് നോക്കുവാണെങ്കിൽ റിസീവർ സൈഡിൽ ഫസ്റ്റ് സ്റ്റേജിൽ ഡിമോഡുലേഷൻ നടന്നു, അതായത് BPSK ഡിമോഡുലേഷൻ നടന്നു. ആൻഡ് സെക്കൻഡ് സ്റ്റേജിൽ ഡി സ്പ്രെഡിങ് നടക്കുന്നു. സോ ദ സെക്കൻഡ് സ്റ്റേജ് പെർഫോം spectrum despreading. So despreading is happening by applying a local PN code generator, which was that is C of T, which was used at the same as that of used at the transmitter, and it is given to a integrator and followed by decision device. And depending upon the value, this decision device has a threshold set is equal to 0. So if 1, if V greater than 0, and 0 if V less than 0. Now this is the direct sequence spread spectrum with coherent BPSK transmitter side and receiver side. Only difference with that with here is that here we have a second BPSK modulator. In the second stage we have a BPSK modulator, and in the receiver side we have a coherent detection or demodulation of BPSK signal at the first stage and despreading in the second stage. Now we will analyze the model for or give the model for analysis. So the data signal is given to a B, that is data signal B of T is given to a BPSK modulator that is given supplied by a carrier, and this that is S of T, and it is given to a PN code generator, and this PN code generator is given C of T. And now we get our X of T. This X of T is passed to a channel, so which get added up with some interference J of T. And here we have a for analysis purpose, the order of these operations are interchanged. So first we were discussing that first the despreading or spreading occurs or spreading happens, then the BPSK modulator or modulation happens. But for the analysis purpose, we are changing the order of this operation. So first we are taking into account the BPSK modulation, and then we are spreading the signal. So here we can see the data signal is B of T is given to a BPSK modulator first, which is supplied by a carrier, and the output of this BPSK modulator is S of T, and this S of T is multiplied with a PN signal C of T, and the output is X of T. So we are interchanging the operation for this analysis. So this is your X of T, and this X of T is passed through a channel, and this channel has an interference J of T, and the output of the channel is Y of T. So this output of the channel Y of T ആണ്, and this Y of T is given to a product modulator C of T, which is supplied by C of T. So here first എന്താ ചെയ്യുന്ന വെച്ചാൽ here first despreading occur and then coherent detection, which is by local carrier. അതായത് നമ്മൾ BPSK demodulation നടക്കും. So for analysis purpose, the order of operations are interchanged. Channel output is now given by Y of T is nothing but X of T plus this J of T. Sorry, here product modulator അല്ല, ഇവിടെ ഒരു adder ആണ്. X of T plus J of T ആണ്. Here it's an adder. So Y of T is nothing but X of T plus J of T. So we have for analysis purpose, the order of the operations are interchanged, and the channel output is now given by Y of T is nothing but this X of T plus J of T. X of T നമുക്കറിയാം, X of T എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ it's nothing but this S of T into C of T ആണ്. So product modulator output ആണ് X of T. So X of T എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ S of T into C of T ആണ്. So we are substituting the value for this X of T. X of T is nothing but S of T into C of T plus this J of T. J of T is an interference ആണ്. Here we can see J of T is the interference signal, S of T is the BPSK signal, C of T is the PN signal. So at the receiver, Y of T is multiplied with the PN signal C of T, that is first despreading ആണ് happening and having an output U of T. So U of T എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ Y of T into C of T ആണ്, and Y of T എന്ന് നമുക്ക് ഇക്വേഷൻ അറിയാം, it's nothing but C square T into S of T ആണ് plus C of T into J of T. So നമുക്ക് അതിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് എന്ത് മനസ്സിലാവും, C of T square എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ 1 ആണ്. So this become S of T plus C of T into J of T. So this is our receiver അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നമ്മളെ having output, that is the receiver signal y of t is now multiplied with the pn signal. Here we can see receiver signal y of t is now multiplied with the pn signal, and the output of this product modulator is u of t. Despread ചെയ്തിട്ടുള്ള signal ആണ് this u of t. So this is our despreaded signal. That is s of t ആണ്. ഈ s of t എന്ന BPSK signal ആണ്. നമ്മൾ ബി ഓഫ് ടി അല്ല, ഒറിജിനൽ ബി ഓഫ് ടി അല്ല, ഇവിടെ BPSK സിഗ്നൽ ആണ് നമ്മളിപ്പോ കണ്ടുപിടിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ BPSK സിഗ്നലിനെ നമ്മൾ ഒറിജിനൽ സിഗ്നലിലേക്ക് മാറ്റണം. So this S of t is nothing as this U of t is a despreaded signal, is nothing but S of t plus C of t into J of t. Hence coherent detector input U of t consists of BPSK signal S of t and interference component C of t into J of t. So coherent detector and output we have our signal S of t plus C of t plus J of t. So the coherent detector and output we have a decision device and the coherent detector and output we get the estimate of B of t, that is the original data signal B of t. So in coherent detector output we get the estimate of B of t. First Y of t ആണ്, which was transmitted signal, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ Y of t എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താ, this X of t plus J of t. X of t എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ S of t plus X of t into C of t ആണ്, and Y of t എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ this X of t plus J of t ആണ്, interference ആണ്, and this U of t എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് despreaded signal ആണ്. ഈ despreaded signal എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ it's nothing but Y of t into C of t ആണ്. So this despreaded signal equation ആണ് this U of t. Despreaded signal U of t ആണ്. This U of t എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ S of t plus C of t into J of t ആണ്. ഈ S of t എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ BPSK signal ആണ്, and this BPSK signal is given to a coherent detector which is with a local carrier, and the output of the coherent detector we get the estimate of B of t. That is our data signal transmitted, B of t. So I hope it's clear.